Hi friends, my name is Zeenat Kasrati Jaleel and I welcome you all to Love for English series of videos. In this video, we are going to talk about three idioms which we can use in our day-to-day conversation. So why wait? Let's get started. The first idiom what I have for all of you in the video is beat around the bush. One of the famous idioms which most of the people across the country keep on using in day-to-day conversations for sure. Now the question comes into picture, what's the meaning of beating around the bush? Very simple. If you are a person who never comes to the point directly, rather you keep on speaking in circles and you take a lot of time to come to the main point what exactly you have to convey. That is exactly is called as beat around the bush. So as you have to take down the meaning of the idiom, you can actually take it down as speaking in circles, or you can even take it down as speaking in such a manner where you never come to the point directly. So, to make you understand this, I have one of the best examples ever. In one of the previous organizations where I was working, I had one of my colleagues who used to always beat around the bush. You just go to her and ask her, "Hey, how was your day?" She would start with saying, "Arey, what to talk about my day, yaar. I woke up early in the morning, the bathroom switch was not working. Then I had to call the electrician. The electrician came, he fixed the switch. I took the shower, I came back, I helped my husband to wake up and then made him get ready, sent him to office, then woke my children up and then made them get ready, sent them to school, and I got ready, I went to office, blah, 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 blah." By the way, what was the question asked? How was your day? This entire explanation, what she actually gave, was not necessary at all. She unnecessarily beat around the bush, right? So, this is exactly what considered as beating around the bush. So, to make you understand the same idiom, I have three wonderful examples for all of you. So, let's look at the examples one by one, which will help us to use the idiom very effectively. The first one, what I have for you over here is, whatever you want to ask, ask directly. Stop beating around the bush. Look at this. Maybe you are coming across a person who is speaking in circles without coming to the point directly, wasting your time. Now you are literally fed up and you're telling, "Please stop beating around the bush. Tell me whatever you want to say. Ask me whatever you want to ask. Let's stop speaking in circles." So that's exactly the scenario over here. Basically, you're telling the other person, stop wasting the time, come to the point directly. The next example, what I have for you here is, Rashmi doesn't beat around the bush. She is upfront and honest. We are talking about a person here named Rashmi who never beats around the bush. She is a person who comes to the point directly. Even when she shares something, it is usually going to be very upfront, very assertive, as well as very honest too. Okay, so especially in office premises, when you are having conversation with your colleagues, it's very very important for you to understand that you should not beat around the bush. Time is money for everybody across the globe. So whether you respect your time or not, you have to learn to respect the other person's time. For that, you need to stop beating around the bush. The last example what I have for you in the row is, my mom never comes to the point directly. She loves to beat around the bush. Look at this sentence. In fact, this sentence I formed based on my mom. Whenever I go back home once in quarter, or let's say once in 6 months, she would be so excited to share anything and everything. She would get into every detail of her sharing, and it will take a lot of time for her to come to the point directly. Even if she has to ask anything to me, or even if she has to say anything to me, even if she has to even suggest me anything, etc. Usually moms are like that. That's why they're very cute. They're such sweethearts altogether, right? So my mom usually beats around the bush because of a lot of excitement. Now let's get into the second idiom for the day, that is below the belt. What's the meaning of below the belt? Because below the belt actually means to unfairly target another person's weakness or vulnerability. So, usually it is one of the rules in boxing where you are not supposed to punch the person below the belt, which is against the rule. So, this idiom has been influenced by the same rule what we have in boxing. Okay, so when we use this in our day-to-day conversation, whenever you fight with someone, fight fairly, right? Fight directly, not by hitting a person's weakness or vulnerability for that matter, right? So that's exactly is the meaning of the idiom below the belt. Let's take up examples to understand this much better. Look at the first sentence over here. I strongly object fighting below the belt. The dignity of a fight is lost when we do that. In fact, I personally believe in the same too. Fighting below the belt is a very big shame. If we have to fight, let's fight directly on a fair ground with fair rules, right? But not by hitting somebody's weakness, somebody's weak point, or somebody's vulnerability for that matter. Not by bringing in something what the person could have shared it with you on a personal ground, which is really, really below the belt. In other words, it is below the standards. Below the belt also means below the standards. Let's look at the next example here. Shweta always fights below the belt. That's the reason no one in the society likes to argue with her. Here we are talking about a person named Shweta who always fights below the standards. Which she always says something, argues based on such things which shouldn't be brought out while arguing, while fighting for that matter. So we have a person over here in this sentence who always fights below the belt, because of which nobody likes to talk to her, nobody likes to argue with her, because everybody knows she is a person who always fights below the belt. Okay. The next example is the shot that he took at him was completely below the belt. Decent people never compete like this. So whenever we do compete with people formally or informally, all right, on a particular platform or maybe in different situations for that matter, we should always follow certain rules. The rules which makes a man a gentleman, which makes a woman a gentlewoman, which helps us to actually stand by the standards of fighting for that matter, right? So below the belt means below the standards. The third idiom what I have for all of you in the video is blessing in disguise. What's the meaning of this? You must have definitely come across many situations in life where initially you felt certain things what happened in your life was not good, was not right, such a misfortune. Maybe it shouldn't have happened in your life at all when you thought about this at that particular moment. But after that, after some time of the incident, you start feeling good that it happened, because of which I am so and so today, because of which I got so and so opportunity, because of which I actually learned a very big lesson. So, this is actually called as blessing in disguise. Basically, a misfortune which turns out to have advantages or maybe good outcome from evil situation. Alright, so blessing in disguise means misfortune which turns out to have advantages or good outcome from an evil situation. So let's take up some examples to understand the usage of the idiom. The first one, losing the job turned out to be a blessing in disguise for me as it made me an entrepreneur. I remember when I lost my job few years ago. In fact, I wept so much like a baby thinking about all the responsibilities financially what I had, I started actually thinking, how am I gonna handle all these things? How would I be ever be able to get into another job? How long it might take me to get into another job? But trust me, today I really feel that good that I lost the job. Otherwise, I wouldn't have turned to be an entrepreneur. It wouldn't have given me an opportunity to become a freelance language and a soft skills trainer, which helped me to travel across the country, training as many engineers as well as MBA graduates, right? And all these things happened because I lost the job. So losing the job was a blessing in disguise for me. The second example, our neighbor Sudha was a blessing in disguise when she stood by us defending us in front of the people of the apartment. So I'm here talking about a person named Sudha. Let's imagine that this person is a person who never liked me, who never kind of spoke to me appropriately. She always spoke to me upfront, sort. But when I was in a situation when I was facing a particular problem from the people of the apartment, she became the blessing in disguise, and she stood by me, defending me in front of all the people. So, whomever I felt was something bad, was something evil, actually turned out to be a blessing in disguise. So, a blessing in disguise basically means a good outcome from evil situation, something bad which turned out to be something really. So friends, that's all I've got for all of you in this video. I'll be back very soon with one more video with some more idioms. If you learned something from the video, I request you to please like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video.